So this is it. We are here once again because we want to look at the stats, find out what the numbers are, see what's changed, because yeah, a little bit of a hint there, things are changing. So let's get into some stats and give you all the details on the Halifax neighborhood markets. Hey everyone, it's Richard Payne here from Halifax Homes and Lifestyles at eXp Realty, and we are going to look at the numbers again because things are changing. Yes, they are. Like, you can just feel the market has taken a little bit of a breath, has paused, and when we look at the stats, they stack up with that exactly the same. But also, interest rates have absolutely changed the landscape of the buyers. Pretty much in Canada, I'm sure, not just Nova Scotia, but do we really care about what's going on in the Canada market? Not really. Do we care about what's going on in the Halifax region market? Absolutely we do. So that's what we're going to look at. So we are here at the very start of July, looking back at June and going to get into some stats. Now, the first thing, of course, that everybody wants to know is, like, are we still crazy in terms of like the absolute average market price that people are paying? Well, it shot up pretty much. Like in May, we were sitting at like a $642,500 average price point in HRM, Halifax Regional Municipality, which is kind of like that key area in Halifax that most of the people live, 50%. So did we change from that? Yes. How much did we change by? Quite a lot. We dropped $42,000 off that average price point, came in at just a smidge over $600,000 as the average. That gave us a 107.5% list to sale price. So on average, 7.5% more. That equated to $42,000. So one of the biggest questions everybody's going to have about that is, does that mean that we are paying less for houses, in the fact that we're not going like $100,000, $200,000 over asking price, or is the listing price coming up sensibly? So the average sale price is kind of like not a lot over asking price, because I went back and if we looked at last month, May, $69,000 over asking price. April, $99,000 over asking price. March, $106,000 over asking price. So you can see that we've gone 106, 99, 69, 42. So I think there's two factors there. There's definitely a factor that the listing agents now are actually going, I can't price my houses on what it was last year. I've got to like look back maybe 2-3 months, see what that average price point is, and be a lot more sensible and a lot more accurate and a lot more close to where the final sale price is going to be. So now what we're seeing is, you know, the sale price, yes, it's gone down $42,000 from last month, but I think the average list price is getting substantially closer. So the gap between the list and the sale price is getting closer, it's getting less. So hence, we're only seeing only $42,000 over asking price. But that's where we stand in June. Now we are at 14 days on market. 12 days on market last month. So like, it's going to buy a couple of days. It's not a huge amount. But again, this comes back to what we've been saying over the last 2-3 videos, which is we're not seeing so many agents and so many sellers actually saying all offers to be in by a certain day on a certain time. No preemptive offers. Now we're getting into, and I've seen a lot more of these, just like the house is going up for sale. Like, send me your offers when you want. Like, you know, if you're the first one in, give them the asking price. They're happy with the asking price. Congratulations. You just got a house in the Halifax market at asking price. Seeing a lot more of those. Now, sometimes we're seeing the 24, 48 hours leave all offers open for that period of time. Great. But realistically, that's not a very smart strategy, because from a buying point of view, I'm just going to go and say, can you deal with this in the next, like, you know, 2-3 hours, 4 hours? If they say yes, I'm getting my offer in, because I don't want to leave it open for 2 days. Then we get a competition. Why would I do that? So yeah, we're just sending them in within like 2 to 4 hours. Hopefully we can get a response by then. If we do, then great, because then we actually get a decision made, not waiting for a day to 2 days to get a decision made. So that's where the average price point is. Now again, if we look at the number of houses sold, we're at 585. Last month, that was at 620, so we're down 6% on sales. Last year, that was at 611, so we're down 4% on last year as well. Interesting when you look at the number of actives though, 489 last month, 561 this month. So we're up 20% on last month. So listings coming down just a little bit in terms of the number of sales, but the amount of actives going up makes things a little bit more simpler and a little bit more easy, shall we say. Easy. Well, there's nothing easy in real estate in the moment in Halifax, but easier in the fact that there's more choice, there's more properties to look at. Now that means that we've got 1 month of inventory. We've been in the 0.8, 0.5 pretty much for like the last 12 months. Now we're up to a month of inventory. So that's going to be interesting. It starts to show the market does feel, heaven forbid, but it does feel like we are slowing down. Now, let's be realistic. Slowing down from 1,000 miles an hour to 850 miles an hour. You know, it's not as if we've just gone, put the brakes on, screeching halt. That is absolutely not where we are. Houses are still selling. We're still selling over asking price, as you can see. There were actually 99 homes out of the 585 that sold for over $100,000 over asking price. So, not really slowing down that much, but it's just like compared to the last 2 years, it feels like we're slowing down. We're not. We're just coming down slower than the ridiculously hyper fast speeds we're at. Now, also I looked at, say, okay, if we were at or under asking price, how many houses then? 139 houses sold for at asking price or under asking price. So that gives you a feel for, like, yeah, there's 100 over, but there's also 140 at or lower than asking price out of the 585. That's a pretty good number. So one of the things we always like to look at as well is that sales to new listing ratio. When we look at that, what we're looking for is how many houses sold versus how many houses we're listing. If that's at 100%, then exactly what we sold is exactly what we listed in terms of new houses. When it gets to less than 100%, then it shows that we're listing more houses than we're actually selling. And we've been at that for the last 4 months. We're like hovering around our 80 to 77%. 77% is this month because we listed 761, sold 585. That stacks up with the fact that the months of inventory is starting to increase because we're adding a little bit more properties onto the market. Now, we all know as well that June, July, August are going to be slower months because everyone's more concerned with, well, now especially, you can get on planes, you can fly to places. You can also get the kids out of school. So like naturally, everyone's going to take a bit of a breather. Kids are going to go in rec camps, kids are going to start doing their summer jobs, and everybody in real estate from a buying or a selling is potentially going to slow down and actually just take a little bit of a breather for the month of July. So we'll see how that actually pans out when we look at this month's stats. But that's some of the factors that we're starting to see in that Halifax market, which is why we're sort of seeing that little bit of a slowdown, a little bit of a breather. Things are becoming a little bit easier, shall we say, for buyers. Sometimes, like, it's not that easy, trust me, but it's just like all of a sudden you've got a little bit more time to think about the properties. You can start spending a little bit more time at the viewings. You don't have to rush, like, to literally get in there before anybody else comes to look at the property. They put their offer in, and before you know it, you never even got a chance to go in. So it's just getting that a little bit easier, which is a good thing for our market because, like, when everybody's running frantic, like 1,000 miles an hour, it's just really difficult to stay on top of every small, little, minute detail that we've got to. So it's good that we're slowing down just a smidge. So let's look at some specific markets, because one thing we always want to do is find out which market's hot and what the prices are, so that when you're looking in those areas, you are familiar, you know what's going on. Number one market this month is good old Sackville, back at the top. 52 homes sold, 39 average, 0.8 months of inventory. Also coming in at a $443,000 average price point, $50,000 over asking price, 10 days on market. Now again, Lower Sackville has always been crazy popular, and it's just continuing to always be in the top 1 or 2nd place and everything. So when we look at number two is East Hants, Colchester County, Lance, Elmsdale, Enfield area. 46 homes sold there, 64 that are active, 1.4 months of inventory, $439,000 average price point, 13 days on market, 24,000 actually, over asking price. So still a really affordable market, still going to get some good size houses in there as well, especially for that average price point of 439,000. Definitely worth looking. We do know there's that new development coming on stream there that the foundations have started. So like they're going to be coming on. Again, they haven't published any pricing. So it's going to be interesting to watch how that goes. When it does kindly come on stream, we'll have a video all about that neighborhood because we want to give you the information on that new development as well. Coming in at third place is Timberley St. Margaret's Bay, Upper Tantallon, Tantallon itself. So they have, what was that number there? 42 homes sold. Average price point there, $544,000, kind of getting up there a little bit. 12 days on market. $61,000 over asking price, so that's still staying pretty high, but you know there are some pretty nice houses down there, especially as you get towards the St. Margaret's Bay area and you start looking at oceanfront homes. So those are our top 3 neighborhoods. Now when we delve into some of the other more popular ones, Bedford is doing pretty well. Bedford's at $794,500 average price point. Not a lot of new construction going on there. That's really just the resale houses in there. My area, Fall River, is doing pretty good as well. 1.5 months of inventory, 32 homes still for sale in Fall River, 21 sold, and we're at an average there, well, we're at $760,000, but there was definitely some high price properties in Fall River that actually sold that month. So those are all the details, just having a quick check around. Don't think there's anything missed, but if there is something I missed, or if there's something specific that you want, then hit us up in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and those were your stats for the month of June here in the Halifax market. We'll catch you soon.